Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Rob here for Southwest Florida Television. We're getting off to a cloudy start this morning. Getting up there. Off my knees, watching that 9-armed sea star crawling around. Had a beautiful, beautiful day yesterday. Beautiful clear blue skies. Still gorgeous out here. Have a few of our sandbars exposed. 56, gonna get up into the mid 70s, water temperature 71. I've been seeing a lot of sand dollars out here on the sandbars. There's a little pile of them that I collected just to take a picture. Look at them all. They're everywhere out here this morning. These are all dead. But look at all those sand dollars. That's just some of them that I picked up. Isn't that amazing? I've been out here on the beach since, a little before 6 o'clock. Walking around, checking things out. Hit that share button. Let everybody see what you're seeing. Share it with the world. I'm seeing a lot of our little olive snails crawling around out here. Tide's coming in kind of fast now. Another sand dollar down there. I did see some sea stars over here on the back edge of the sandbar earlier. Saw one buried in the water. The water's getting deeper now. I don't know where it went. I don't know what these things are. I've been seeing these. I don't know what they are. I don't know what that is. I've been seeing them all over the beach. It's like a ring. Where that sea star went that was over here. There was one crawling up towards the sandbar. I tried to turn it around. I don't know where they went. They move pretty quick. They're amazing, those little sea stars. We'll just take a stroll up the beach. Oh, I've been stooping over all morning. My back's kind of hurting. Gotta straighten up for a little while. Straighten up, Rob. That beautiful yellow band of color there on the horizon. This little sea star's getting ready to be pulled back out into the water. It's very quiet out here, very, very peaceful. I'm up in area 2. Just in area, actually just north of parking lot 2. I'm seeing a lot of cockle shells too. Live cockle clams in the empty shells. What is this? Feels like it's a live one. Sleeping in there. That's not a very big cockle. Every once in a while they'll open up. It looks like they're smiling when they open up their shell. Looks like they have a little smile on their face. I can see him in there. I can see his little breather there. See, he's opening up, giving us a little cockle smile. I wonder if he's going to stick his tongue out. That's funny. They stick their foot out. Isn't that cool? We see some amazing things. Man, do we ever see some amazing... Oh, sorry. Hang on. Bending over. I'm trying to get the sand off of my legs. My pants are just covered in sand. I have to get in deeper water to do that. Looks like we got a crab trap up on the beach. Saw somebody pulling it out of the water. Our friend James has been trying to get that for a while. There's another 9-armor crawling along the bottom. A small 9-armed sea star. More like an 8-arm. I'm sure we'll see plenty of them today. We saw tons of them yesterday, mostly small ones. So I want to show you, I can't be constantly bending over here. I gotta let my back straighten up for a minute. Just getting home crap sucks. There's a wormy tip, the little tip of a worm shell. These things, you can find these a foot long. They're really cool. We've got a pretty nice collection of them at home. Another sand dollar down there if you look close, right down in there. Haven't seen a lot of big ones. Mostly the smaller ones. Pretty cloudy. The water's pretty churned up. It was rough, really rough a couple days ago. That wind was howling coming in off the west. You caught the live feed of my Sunset Beach walk a couple nights ago. You know what I was talking about. Something else I've been seeing a lot of are these pen shells. Been seeing a lot of them. This looks like it could be a live one maybe down here. Nope. Nothing inside it. The pen shell. I know you've seen these on our beaches if you've been here. Now you know what it is. It's called a pen shell. There's another one down there. Bobbing around down there. If you use your imagination, kind of looks like an old-fashioned fountain pen, you know, that you dip in the inkwell. That's how they got their name, the pen shell. You really got to stretch your imagination. The pen shell. Cockles, bigger cockles down here. Are they live or are they half shells? Empty cockles. They get bigger than this. They'll get the size of my hand, these cockles. Lots of them. Lots of empty shells everywhere. There's one down there, right down in there. They're all over the place. There's a few people out here walking the beach this morning. Not a whole lot. Here's where that crab trap was buried, and the guy pulled it up onto the beach this morning. Finally, I've been trying to get this thing out for a while. Finally uncovered itself this morning. Nothing in it. The crabs go in and they can't get out. Yeah, there's nothing in there. These cockles are everywhere. They're all over the beach. The pen shells are all over the beach. Yesterday morning, I had a great morning shelling. Right this morning, too. Big, great morning here. But that tide's rolling in quick. Lots of whole cockle shells. Lots of them. Just spread out everywhere. Like cockle shells, it's a good morning for cockles. Thought I saw a little tulip shell somewhere over here. An old banded tulip. Pretty old and wore out, the little tulip shell. Old moon shell, shark eye shell. I always call them moons, but they're really shark eyes. You can see the eye on this one. Looking at you. Hello. Sometimes they have a bright blue eye. They call those Paul Newmans. You know, blue eyes, Paul Newman. There's those pen shells are just piled up along the beach here. Look at them all. All those big dark things are pen shells. You don't want to be stepping on them. Got a lot of sharp barnacles on them. I would love to find a crown conch. Big cockles over here. There's a big cockle down here. Empty one. Isn't that cool? Some people say it looks like an angel there. The cockle heart. Plenty of them out here, no shortage of them this morning. Ooh, nice, I think there's a nice little tulip shell down here. Let's see. Make sure it's uninhabited. Yeah, nice little banded tulip shell. Would I like to find a big one? Of course. But the little ones are just as nice. Make sure there's no little hermit crab in there. Got to be careful when you pick these shells up. You don't know what's crawling around in there. You don't want to take anything alive home. So James will be happy to see that's out. He's been working on that with his shovel for a while. He must have the day off. I haven't seen him out here this morning. I love my park. I love this mile-long stretch of beach. My little piece of heaven on earth is what I call it. Can you see why? I don't know why I've been seeing so many tulip shells lately. There was a time where you didn't see any. Now, tulip, tulip, tulips everywhere. Tulips. It is so cool. Banded tulips. Let's find some cone shells. I didn't see any cone shells yesterday. Lots of sand dollars out here for you. If you get out here quickly. Those sandbars have just about disappeared already. But the sandbars are loaded with them. Remember, make sure those sand dollars are not alive if you take them home. There's no reason to hoard. This looks like a live one right here, crawling around. Look, you can see the little trail it's leaving as it's crawling around. That is too cool. I want to snap off a quick photo of that. Give me 1 second. I like to have photos to share later, but here I'll let you take a peek at it. You can see that little swirly, those little circles. That's the little path from the sand dollar crawling around. Isn't that cool? When they're that color, they are alive. That dark reddish brown color. How cool is that? Plug my mic back in. Actually wearing blue jeans this morning. It was a little chilly and breezy when I left the house this morning. For me, for a Floridian. There's some folks, there's some early morning shellers way up ahead of me. I'm surprised they left me some tulips. Could be shark tooth hunting. Oh, there's another tulip. I say tulip. And there's a tulip. And another tulip. I don't get it. Why all of a sudden all the tulip shells? What is going on with them? That is too cool. Well, let's see if it works again. Tulip shell. Nope. I'm being fussy too. I'm not picking them all up. I'm just picking some of them up. No reason to take them all. Leave them for others. Simple little things though. This is what makes me happy. And there's so many little things at the beach. I think you'd be happy if you were out here with me. Who cares about the cloudy skies? Gives it more character. Another little 9-armed sea star. That'll be underwater soon. The tide's coming in fast. Ooh, a big live sand dollar. A big live sand dollar. Over to my left. I want to show it to you. Get the sand off it. If you look closely, you can see all its little tiny feet, the little bristles around the edge. They're actually moving. This is a live sand dollar. It's kind of that purplish, reddish brown color. I'm going to be very gentle with it. You do not take these home. Please do not take these home. I can feel it moving around in my hand. see all its little teeny tiny feet. How cool is that? Put it back down here. And leave it alone. Let it go about its sand dollar and let it do its sand dollar and thing. Morning. There's a live one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't take those, but if you look, you can see it's all along the edge. You can see its little feet if you look real
wow.
close.
That's so cool.
One of our seagull friends. See, I just shared that little piece of info with the young lady who was out here with her bucket looking for sand dollars. I love it when I can do that. That's why I love sharing my beach with you. Hopefully, it's more than just watching a video of the beach. Hopefully, you'll learn a little something from me. What little bit I know. Got a lot of those slugs or whatever they are that make these little piles of sand. I call them little sand turds. You'll see why in a minute. Another little 9-armed sea star. Ooh, this one's got all its arms. That's a nice one. Crawling back into the water. Let me snap a photo of that little critter. That's a nice one. I should not be bending over. If I could just 5 minutes of walking without bending over, then my back will feel fine again. But here's that little sea star. It's a really nice one. It's probably about 5-6 inches in diameter when it spreads all its little arms out. The 9-armed sea star. It's not very breezy now. These are those things I said. I call them sand turds. Looks like a little sand turd to me, but there's like little worms that expel all that sand. Little slugs. You can see all of them. All of them on the beach here. All these little bumps. Little sand turds of Delnor-Wiggins. Nice way to start your Saturday. What do you think? That mic plug in there. Felt the little breeze starting to pick up. We've been watching out in the water for dolphins. They could have went swimming by already. Or they could be waiting for us up at Wiggins Pass. You never know. hit that share button if you haven't done so already. That would really be nice. Facebook stars, if you're liking what you're seeing here, if you enjoy my morning live feeds and the other little things I share, mostly beach related, send some stars every now and then to support my efforts. I can't be out here doing this without your help. I don't want to be somewhere else working a part-time job to make ends meet. I'd rather be out here sharing the beach with you. I love my beach. It's so healing. This is therapy, coming out here. Beach therapy. Tips also greatly appreciated. Right now, phone bills due. I can't do my live feeds without paying my phone bill. That's due Monday morning. Think about it. You can find a link to my PayPal and Venmo account in the description of this post if you want to send a little token of appreciation. No fees over there for that. You got to pay Facebook a fee for those stars. I don't like that. They charge you, they charge me. Then they hold on to your money there for a while before they send it to me. Ha! Monsters. I wasn't expecting the tide to be this low this morning. It was about a half a foot below sea level at 6:30 this morning. High tide now up at the north end of the park here, Wiggins Pass, is going to happen at around 1:20 this afternoon. So we'll have some extra beach up here at the north end of the park for a while to walk on. I don't know if the clouds are going to disappear later. I meant to check the forecast for this afternoon and I didn't. Thanks for the stars. Still beautiful with these overcast skies. We're up where parking lot number 5 used to be. Over in there. Now it's a field of green. Not much on the sandbar here. Could be pulled into the water. Another little sand dollar over here. A couple of them. I'm going to put them up on the beach for that young lady coming up behind me. See, these are dead. These are white. They're long deceased. Beautiful. There's 5, they look like little doves inside these if you crack them open. The 5 doves. Pretty cool. Ooh, here's another live one. Here, this will be good. A live one that's upside down. See the difference in the color? Pretty obvious. A live one and a deceased, the big white deceased one, which you can see the little, its little feet, the little bristles along the edge there of the live one. Nope, the little doves are all out of this one. I thought there might be one little section with one of those little doves in it to show you. Here's a bigger one. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these, huh? Look at them all. I'm gonna put them up on the beach. Now they've all turned white. They bleach themselves out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Trying to find an open sand dollar. As you can see, there's no shortage of them. There's another one. I still haven't found a crown conch. That is like one of my most favorite seashells. Look at all these sand dollars. Look at them all. One there. One here. One here. Two over there. One down here, one over there, one washing up on the beach, 3, 4 more over here. Now that is a crazy looking pattern. Look at that. That is different looking. Huh. I gotta get a picture of that. Hang tight. What do you think? Beautiful, isn't it? All of God's awesome creations. Beautiful creations. You notice we haven't seen any birds yet? There's little sanderlings up ahead. There's been a few, there's been a few pelicans fly by, but not many. Our little scallop shells. It's kind of a small one. You can find some pretty big ones at times. There's a big pen shell over there. We were looking at some of those earlier. Another little 9-armed sea star, about 8.5 armed sea star. Ooh, there's a nice little lightning whelk shell. And finally, it's a little one. But it counts. It's a little crown conch. It's a small one. But it counts as a crown conch. Kind of missing its little crown. Okay, now I want to find a bigger one. I'm greedy. the little crown conch, and the little lightning whelk down here. That one's got a little chip in it. I'll leave that for somebody else. The crown conch and the lightning whelk. I saw something really cool on Facebook the other day. I was going to share it and I forgot. A lightning whelk actually laying, it's creating, whatever you want to call it, its egg casing. Somebody got a video of that at the beach. That is really cool. Sure, if you're on Facebook, if you Google lightning whelk laying eggs or something, you'll find it. It was very cool. I would love to see that in person. We saw that big lightning whelk egg casing, was it last week? More little sea stars up here. Can you see it down there? Right down there, the little 9-armed sea star. We're right there. My mic cable dangling around there. Another one over here. Another one down there, see it? Right in there. Two more over here. Can you see them? One on the left, one over on the right. See that one on the right there, and the one on the left over here? That tide's coming in. They'll be out in the water in minutes, crawling around. Here's a beautiful little Florida fighting conch. This is a live one, small one, but the pattern on this shell is incredible. There's a little fighting conch in there. They usually come out and put up a little fight. They can poke you pretty good, these little fighting conchs, but that's a beautiful, beautiful shell there. It must be cold, sleeping in there. Such a small one. You can find those everywhere on our beaches here in Southwest Florida. Very prolific. Oh, here's a beautiful scallop. A beautiful scallop shell. The colors aren't as vibrant with the cloud cover this morning, but these scallops are gorgeous. Sometimes you can find them in a bright pink. We found one yesterday. It's a very, very bright pink color. Wiggins Pass in the distance there. One of our little seagull friends over there. All those little sanderlings took off, darn it. They're so cute running around. Not much in the way of birds here. There's a big 9-armed sea star tangled up in some seaweed. We'll help it out here. We'll help this guy out. He's missing a couple arms. Just put him a little closer to the water. That's a good size one. If he grabs hold of the bottom. figure it out. That looked like sargassum seaweed. I'm seeing that and some red drift algae along the shore. Looks like one pelican out there in the water. Can you see it out there? Right about in the middle of the screen, that little dark spot. Just one of our little pelican friends. Try to get a picture of our pelican friend over here. Well, I'm also out in the water trying to get all the sand off my blue jeans. Now I gotta dry off. Now my pants are falling down. They're soaking wet. Let me redo the microphone. Breezy. Getting windy up here. Getting into the open. I did record a little video before I went live this morning. I'll share that later. Another little 9-armed. That's a small one. Right down in there, and then over here, a much bigger one. Aren't they cool? Have you ever seen those before you saw them on my live feeds? Have you ever seen them before my beach walks? Have you ever been here and seen them in person? Now we have the 5-armed sea stars here too, but I haven't seen any of those lately. I was seeing those right in here, in between the sandbar and the beach, on the back side of the sandbar. There's all our little sandpipers, sanderlings. And we got 2 pelicans out on the sandbar. The little sanderlings are just scurrying up ahead of me there. Oop. More sea stars. Like I said, there's no shortage. That's a big one. That's a huge one. Look at the size of that one. Look at that. That is a big, big sea star. Looks to be in healthy shape too. It's got all its arms. That's a biggie. Looking for those little 5-armers. A couple 9-armers over here. Be careful when you're walking on these sandbars. See, they bury themselves in the sand. See that one over on the right? This one down here, buried in the sand. Oh gosh. Another tulip shell. I think it's a tulip. See, there's 2 sea stars here. One buried pretty deep. This one right there. Is this a live tulip maybe? Crawling around. Nope. Another empty tulip shell. Tulip morning. Not seeing any of those little 5-armed sea stars along here. Oh, there's one. This is usually where we see them, and there's one right down there. I was hoping we get to see one of them. Beautiful, the 5-armed sea star. We have a couple different kinds of those 5-armers. I'm going to take a photo of that real quick. Bear with me here. Can't get my reflection out of the picture, darn it. Try again. All right, I might have got one. The water's a little cloudy here, but you get the idea. 9-armed sea stars, 5-armed sea stars. We've seen them all this morning. There'll be another one here in the shallower water. Get a better picture and look at one. Nope. 9-arm. Plenty of 9-arm sea stars. Plenty of them. Look at them all. Everybody said when you're walking around here, you gotta be careful where you're walking. Something very beautiful can be buried just beneath the sand. Another little banded tulip. An empty one. Wild. So many tulip shells this morning. There are little olive snails crawling around, trenching along. They're beautiful shells, the olive snail. Beautiful shells. Little sanderlings up ahead of me, see on the edge of the sandbar there. Let's head over to the edge of the pass. See what that looks like. Might be breezy up there. Nice walk, huh? You enjoying yourselves? Send a little love here. Hit that give button. Send some Facebook stars. Show some support, my friends. Wonder if I'll ever see that little juvenile bald eagle again. That was so cool. That was really cool. So that's the sandbar we were on over there. Aren't those clouds beautiful? Supposed to get windy tomorrow. Again, another windy day. I don't like the windy days. Makes it colder. I'll go back and check out the replay of this morning's beach walk if you missed it. We did see some fun things this morning. Lots and lots of 9RMC stars. Lots of them. Lots of sand dollars. Now we're up at the north end of the park at Wiggins Pass. This part of the beach is really growing, getting wider and wider and wider here. Big cockle shell down there, right down in there. I don't know what that thing is. It's been there forever. Some kind of pipe they cut off. Tamara, good morning. A couple old pelicans up here on the beach. Our pelicans here, the majority of them are brown pelicans. Now the older pelicans, they are more of a gray color. They have a white head with a lot of times they'll have a little yellow on the top of their head and yellow feathers. Those are the older brown pelicans, and the juveniles, the younger ones, are brown with the white underbelly. They're both brown pelicans. These are two old farts over here. Just sitting up here chillaxing. You see them now? One on the left and the right there. If you look close, you can see the yellow on right around its face, on the top of its head there. They're just a very faded brown, almost gray in color. Fun to watch though. Love watching our pelicans. This one behind me looks like he was snoozing. You snoozing up there? You taking a nap? That's an older one, more faded out. I think the older they get, the more faded they get. Don't feed our pelicans. Don't feed any wildlife, no matter where you are, not just at the beach. It's not a good habit to get into. It's not good for the animals. They need to take care of themselves, not depend on us. You are not doing them any favors by feeding them. Pelicans are always winding up in the rescue centers here, choking on fish that the fishermen give them the scraps, and they get them caught in their throats. Sad. Let them fend for themselves. They're not starving by any means, our pelicans. There's usually sea stars down over in that corner of the park on the beach too. There was a time where there was just hundreds and hundreds of them over there. There's one was up here. I don't know where it crawled off. You can see it was down there and crawled off into the water. And went off. And that water gets deep fast right there. They're going to be dredging this pass out in February, according to Collier County's people. Sometime in February. He didn't give me specific dates, but February the dredge will be out here, and they're going to pump the sand onto the beach here and onto the beach at Barefoot. They're going to split it between both sides of the pass, I guess. That's what they did the last time. Man, it's so quiet out here for a Saturday. Hardly anybody out here. There's one guy sitting out here in a chair, and there's one person over on the other side of the pass. There's clouds. Looks like the backside of a front. Moving through, maybe. There's where another sea star was before it crawled off into the water, right down in there. Somebody might have picked it up, set it gently out in the water. Come on, dolphins. Boy, for a little while we were having some incredible luck seeing dolphins back in here. I haven't seen any. I haven't heard them popping up out of the water. A morning like this, you'll definitely be able to hear them before you see them. There goes a pelican. You ever see the dolphins slapping their tails in the water? That is so cool. Some mornings you'll come out here and you'll see them teaching their little babies how to do that. Two reasons they do it. One, it's a way they communicate back and forth with other dolphins, and the other reason is they use it to kind of stun the fish. It's like a little shock wave when they do that, when they're on the hunt. Just a little dolphin trivia. Maybe a couple sea stars up here. Not many. I think somebody put them back in the water. I got a friend of mine that was up here earlier, and he usually puts them back in the water. I can see where they have all been. There's one right there. There's some big lightning whelks live along in here. Big lightning whelks. Do not take them as souvenirs. They're live, but they're huge. We've seen them several times. There's another one. Just slowly crawling towards the water. That tide's coming in. This one will be fine here. Another smaller one over there. This is where those dolphins like to hang out, right around in here. Not seeing them though. Not seeing or hearing them. Like I said, you'll hear them. When they come up on a morning like this, when they expel that air, you hear that. It's real obvious when they're around. Well, I'm thinking that's going to do it for this morning's live feed. Send some stars there if you like what I do. Tips right now, always, but it's been kind of slow in the tip department lately. Remember, I can't keep doing this without your help, without your support. Look for that link to my PayPal and Venmo account. Whichever you want to use is fine with me. I'm not trying to get rich, just survive and continue my beach walks. You can find links to Venmo and PayPal in the text description of this post. And I do thank you. Thanks for being a friend. Share, share, share. Thanks for allowing me into your lives and onto your screens. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong. Tally-ho, everyone, tally-ho. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb Stan. May God bless you, your family, your friends, your fur babies, everything and everyone in your lives. And God bless our wonderful, beautiful, and amazing country. The place that I so proudly call my home. God bless America. One nation under God. Keep her in your prayers. She really could use them. And with my favorite view of the pass. Tally-ho. Tally-ho.